Okay, in this lesson we're going to talk about how to multiply polynomials, and we're going to do this problem here, which is 5x minus 3 multiplied by the quantity of 2x plus 9. So I have a binomial times a binomial. I'm going to work through this 4 different ways, and we're going to start off by just modeling the area of a rectangle. Okay, so we're going to treat the first binomial as the length and the second binomial as the width. And I just drew a little model here. And in this problem, I've got the length is 5x minus 3, and the width, you can call them either way, but it's 2x plus 9 across the top. It's 5x minus 3 down the side. And so when we multiply, we're going to take 5x times 2x, which is 10x squared. And we're going to take 5x times 9, which is 45x. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x, and then 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And then the total area is just the sum of all of those pieces. So that would be 10x squared plus 45x plus a negative 6x, which is minus 6x, plus a negative 27, which is just minus 27. And then all we have to do is combine the like terms, and the like terms are the two terms in the middle. So we have 10x squared plus 39x minus 27. And then that trinomial is the product or the answer to this multiplication problem. And that all we did was model it with the formula for area of a rectangle. Since that formula is length times width, we just represented or used each binomial to represent the length and the width, went through and multiplied. And I'm going to go through and do this 3 other ways, show you just 3 different things that you could do. We'll get the same answer every single time. Okay, one way is to multiply vertically. And so what I would do is I would put 5x minus 3, and then underneath it we're going to multiply 2x plus 9. And you do this pretty much just like you would if you had a 2-digit times a 2-digit. Right? 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. 9 times 5x is 45x. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. And 2x times 5x is 10x squared. And then what you do is you add these just like again, a 2-digit times a 2-digit. And you would get 10x squared plus 39x minus 27. And the same answer. And some people may prefer to do it vertically like this. Okay, now the next one, we're going to multiply horizontally. And so when we multiply horizontally, what we basically are going to do is take and do the distributive property 2 times. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute, instead of just a monomial, you're going to take this entire binomial and distribute it through each term. So what you have is 5x minus 3, and all of that multiplied by 2x. And I need to put a plus sign here. I'm going to take 5x minus 3 and multiply it by 9. And now when after I distribute that binomial, now I have a monomial that needs to be distributed. And so I take this and distribute in both cases. And so then 2x times 5x is 10x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. 9 times 5x, again, 45x, and 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. Here in the same situation we were before, we have all the same 4 terms, 10x squared plus 39x minus 27. So all these ways, again, are giving us the same answer. You can see that ultimately we end up doing the same multiplications over and over and over. And now this next method, the last method I'm going to do, is what's called FOIL. And FOIL is an acronym that stands for first, outer, inner, last. And it is only okay? Only for a binomial times a binomial. It doesn't work for any other way to look at it. If you have trinomials or anything else, you would have to do something different. So we'll write the problem out. And now you just do all 4 multiplications. So each letter in the word FOIL stands for a multiplication. So F stands for first. That means you take the first term of each binomial and multiply. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. O stands for outer. So we take the outer terms. Okay. 5x and positive 9. And that makes 45x. Okay. And they're outer, they're far left and the far right, the outer terms. Okay. And then I stands for inner. And inner would be the 2 on the inside. Negative 3 times positive 2x is negative 6x. And then the L stands for last. And so that's when you're going to take negative 3 times positive 9, and that's negative 27. And then your answer is just, again, combine those 2 middle terms, 10x squared plus 39x minus 27. And that FOIL is generally the method that people will do when they multiply a binomial times a binomial. Again, each letter just reminds you of a multiplication that you need to do. Okay? Every method we did, there were 4 multiplications. They were all the same 4 multiplications. And then you would take and see if any of them are like terms, which in the one we've done, you always get the like terms, the O and the I. Now if you have a trinomial times a binomial, okay, when this is the case, you don't have the option of doing FOIL. Okay, so one way to do it is vertically, 4x squared plus 3x minus 1. And we're going to multiply that by 2x plus 5. And again, now this is like a 3-digit times a 2-digit. This is negative 5, 15x, 20x squared. Negative 2x, 6x squared, and 8x to the third. And these need to be added. 8x to the third plus 26x squared plus 13x minus 5. And there's your answer. And in this last one, doing it horizontally, I'll do the same problem only horizontally. 4x squared plus 3x minus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 5. And so here, okay, you take this, multiply it by each of those terms. So 4x squared plus 3x minus 1, multiplied by 2x, and then the same 4x squared plus 3x minus 1, multiplied by 5. Can you see that? And when you multiply, then you can get all the same things. 8x to the third plus 6x squared minus 2x plus 20x squared plus 15x minus 5. Combine all the like terms. There's a 6x squared and a 20x squared, 26x squared, negative 2x and 15x is 13x, and then the negative 5. So you get the same answer. And it's just like what we did before. Now you distribute the trinomial, which requires you to then distribute each monomial through, and you get those 4 terms. And here we have find the product. So on each one of these, we're going to just do FOIL. And so when I do my first, 8x squared, outer, 44x, inner, 6x, last, 33. And so my answer is 8x squared plus 50x plus 33. Second one, first 40x squared, outer 48x, inner negative 5x, last negative 6. Combine the two middle terms. I forgot my x. Now combine my two middle terms. 40x squared, 43x, and minus 6. Here, my first would give me 54x squared. Outer would be 78x. Inner is 63x. And last would be negative 91. Forgot my x here. Combine them, you would have 54x squared minus 15x minus 91. And then on the last one, first would be 12x squared. Outer would be negative 96x. Inner is negative 5x. And last is plus 40. And you combine 12x squared minus 101x plus 40. And that's correct. And so there are some different ways that you can multiply polynomials. Mainly we concentrate on multiplying binomials. Understanding how to do FOIL is important because the next thing we're going to be working on is factoring. Okay? And then what I have written in blue there, that's going to be the original problem, and it'll be your job to get back to the two binomials that were being multiplied together. And that's what factoring is. So that's what we will be doing next.